Good morning, book besties. You guys can tell by the title that I don't know how good this mic is. So if you hear my kids, I'm so sorry. You can tell by the title, I am going to be attempting the 24-hour reading challenge. I've done this technically twice before. The very first time I did it, I stayed up a whole 24 hours around the clock. And I want to say I started around like 11 a.m. or something. And so I had to stay up from like 11 a.m. all throughout the night and up to 11 a.m. I did take like an hour and a half nap in that 24-hour period. But overall, I did complete the challenge. But I will never do that again because I woke up the next day feeling so sick. My whole equilibrium was off. My circadian rhythm was messed up. It was just not a good thing. So I'm not going to attempt that again. The second time I did it where I had a 24-hour timer and I would start it when I read and I would stop it when I stopped reading just to see how many like pages or books I can get through in a 24-hour period. But that took me like a good 3-4 days to do. And so I'm not going to do that way either. What I want to try to do is the 12-12 method. So 12 hours today and then 12 hours tomorrow. I'm not going to stop it when I'm not reading. I'm just going to try to read as much as I can in that time. So I've already been reading this morning. I woke up at like 7 something and I've been reading Long Shot pretty much all morning until my kids woke up asking for food. Right now it is 9 o'clock on the dot. And so I am going to go ahead and start. So basically from 9 right now. So right now until 9 p.m. today, I am going to see how much I can read and keep you guys updated along that. Oh, I do have a movie night with the book club tonight at it's either at 9 or 10, I think at 10. And then tomorrow we'll start our 12 hours again at whatever time I wake up and see how long, which tomorrow is a little tricky because my husband has his rec league basketball games. He has 2 games. And then it's my nephew's birthday, so we're going to the bowling alley. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take my Kindle or something. I'll figure it out, or I'll do an audiobook. But anyway, yeah, I need to go ahead and start because I'm already losing 2 minutes. My breakfast today is a chobani and some grapes, which usually it's either a Pop-Tart or nothing. So that's pretty good. Also, I need to put in a Kroger pickup. We need groceries for sure. It's currently 9:15. I'm going to go ahead and start. So I'm like pretty much halfway through the book. There's 450 pages in this book. I'm on 250. So I'm just going to read as long as my kids will let me, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, kids will really do you dirty. So I was asking me about the night shift, and I was telling him that's when like you work overnight. But in his Roblox game, they're working day and night. So I said, "Oh, y'all must be working like day and night shift like all the time." And he said, "Would you say like yeah, like how McDonald's was back in the old days when you were little?" I'm actually crying. These kids got me crying laughing today. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm about to switch to the audiobook and handle all these clothes, these baskets of clothes. 3 baskets to be exact. Yeah. I got 4 baskets. So I'm on page 306 now. I had to take a break because somebody was yapping off to me. No, I'm kidding. We had a whole deep conversation about many different things. And has it been like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm very far behind on my reading. So I'm gonna try to.
I'm not supposed to be known in this universe.
In my booktok, my booktube universe. I'm a single woman?
No.
Oh. Okay. Anyway. No. Anyway, I have this much left. I'm gonna put the audiobook back on and figure out what I'm going to eat. Cause it's looking like ice cream. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna figure it out. All right, I'm on page 400 of Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I'm going to give my final thoughts after I finish the book. I only have 50 more pages left of the book. I just looked it up. The next book is Block Shot, and I'm just now realizing that it's like an interconnected standalone type of series thing, I think. So the next books aren't about these characters. which I'm kind of sad about because like I want to know what else happens, but I feel like I'm gonna need to know more information on what's going on in their lives because 50 pages isn't gonna give me enough. But we'll see. So anyway, I'm about to make a milkshake. I don't want my kids to see it though, so we'll see. Also, we just got back from going to Costco and Kroger, so I haven't been reading the past like 2.5 hours. I haven't been reading, so I just put on my audiobook so that I can get through it faster so we can start the next book. I really wanted to start Blockshot next, but again, it's not about the same characters. Plus, I don't have the physical copy of the book, so I think I'm going to read something where I have the physical copy. I don't know, we'll see. August is about to... If you have read this book, I'm trying to keep it spoiler free, but I'm on chapter 50. So if you've read this book before, you know what's going on in chapter 50. With your daughter in the house. Not me making literally the perfect amount. Okay, so I was editing and I have to add in this clip because I was recording my thoughts on Longshot and the audio was so bad. Like, I don't know what was going on, but it was like crackling every time I would speak. It sounded like a robot. So I'm going to try to remember all the stuff that I talked about in the first clip because I'm very much like, if I don't get my thoughts out right after reading a book, what was the book about? I don't remember. I can't tell you my feelings about it. Who is she? Obviously, it is a very hard topic. If you have any type of human decency, any type of empathy, then you would, feel something when you read this book. It is a hard read, but I feel like it is a very necessary read that it needs to be talked more about so that people have resources to support. So yeah, I feel like it's a necessary topic. Obviously a very hard read. It is very I can't say this word. It is a very infuriating. Oh my gosh, that's like the worst word in human history. And I was very infuriated. Who came up with that word? It's just really infuriating to read. But Kennedy Ryan does it really well. I feel like she's a great storyteller. And I don't feel like she's mishandling the information in the situation that she's writing about. You can tell that she has like put in the work to interview, to understand more about the topic, to be more knowledgeable, and to handle it carefully, but also present it as it is. And so her writing is very like deep and thought-provoking and like beautiful but heartbreaking. Like, I just honestly, I'm not a cry, like I don't cry to many books. Like in real life I am a crybaby, but like in books I just don't cry. Like, that's just not what I do. I can count on one hand how many times I've cried in a book, but just like the depth of her words, just like, it'll make you tear up for sure. I remember when I was reading the book, I was like, you know what, this gives me Wattpad vibes. Not like the book is Wattpad vibes, although there's some great books on Wattpad. I haven't been on Wattpad in years, like since high school, which was 10 years ago. I graduated 10 years ago. When I was on Wattpad back in high school, there was this one book I read, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was very much like this book. The FMC of the Wattpad book was Imani, and the boy was Jerome. There was a few different men, but at first it was Jerome. If y'all know what I'm talking about, then y'all know. I can't remember what it was called though. That's neither here nor there. But I did want to also say that when I was reading the book, it did remind me of like my thoughts on It Ends With Us, because when I read that book and I initially talked about it, I had some people in the comments that were like, oh, like, we don't support this book. Colleen Hoover is romanticizing DV and things like that. And so when they said that, I was like, I don't see that. After reading this book, I can see what people mean by it, because it was very much like, he's such a good man. He just is troubled because of this terrible experience he has, and I can't fault him for that. But like, I don't feel like it was like that though. Like, I don't know, I'm torn on it now, because I'm like, I see where y'all are coming from, but at the same time, some situations can look like that. Like, I feel like that can be a true story. Maybe she just didn't handle it well. She didn't tell it well. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert on the topic. I do have some experience with it from what I've seen growing up in my childhood with my stepdad, but that doesn't make me an expert on it. So I want to be sensitive and, you know, how I speak about the topic. I don't know. I still like It Ends With Us. I still don't feel like she was romanticizing it. I feel like every situation is different. And she even said it in her author's notes about how she wasn't trying to use Ryle as this is how all abusers look. This is how it'll always work. They have a story. They have a reason. This and that. Like, that's not what she was trying to do with that. But she drew inspiration. I don't want to say inspiration, but she kind of wrote from what she knew based on what she saw growing up, because her dad was abusive to her mom. So anyway, we don't have to get too deep into It Ends With Us, because that was not a part of this 24-hour reading challenge. But as far as Long Shot goes, I absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars. Definitely need to read more Kennedy Ryan books, because that one and Before I Let Go are the only 2 that I've read. So I need to go through her whole like catalog. She might be one of my favorite authors, especially because she's Black. It's a lot more relatable. The language in it is just more entertaining for me. If I ever annotate a book, it's gonna be that. I've never annotated a book, but the 2 books that I've read, Long Shot and Firefly Lane, I might just annotate those 2, because especially Long Shot, because the quote, like, it was so freaking cute. I actually might go home and annotate it. I don't want to annotate it because I just don't want to write in my books. Like, I feel like they're so precious and I don't want to mess them up. But at the same time, it's like, am I messing them up? I highlight my Bible. What's the difference? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go home and annotate it. Kind of excited, actually. It's a new era for me. So yeah, I feel like I had to come outside after that one, get some fresh air, get some sunlight. I mean, it's not really sunny. Actually, a cloudy, gloomy day, but honestly, I still have to get my thoughts together on the book. But overall, I think it's a 5-star. Like, I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna. Oh, not the sun coming out. Oh, not the sun coming out. Oh, my dog. I don't know. I think this is a really good book, a really good eye-opener. Like, I don't do book boyfriends. I'm married. I just don't do that. But if I ever had a book boyfriend, if I had to pick one, it would have to be Mr. August, because just yeah, because he did that. Just the way Kennedy Ryan writes, it's just beautiful, easy to follow, yet so deep and thought-provoking and emotional, and just, I can't. Like, I literally had tears in my eyes a few times reading this. I never let them fall. Okay, I didn't fully cry reading this book, but I did have tears in my eyes. Even at the end, like, I had tears in my eyes for some sweet moments, and then I had tears in my eyes for some hard things. Normally, with romance books, I cringe so hard at, like, you know, the cringy, corny things that happen in romance books, like the guy trying to be like overly sweet or whatever. But when and it still might be cringy, corny to y'all, but when he said he'll put her at his 5, no, that 8, like, no, that actually 8. I'm about to tell my husband that, like, I'm putting you in my 5 spot, please. I feel like that was the cutest thing ever, and I actually have tears in my eyes just thinking about it. Like, that was so freaking cute. That was not cringy to me at all. That 8, oh my gosh. Anyway, as of right now, yeah, all I have to say is beautiful book, great writing. Kennedy Ryan does it again. I like this one better than Before I Let Go. Bye. I feel like I need to go cry. I feel like I need to go cry, actually. All right, let's go put this book on in my red section and get a new book. Pardon me, sir. Pardon me. You're the normal people. What should I read? Ministry of Time, Barack Obama. Hi. Okay, so I might have fallen asleep for like 2 hours. I don't really know how long. I was tandem reading the Ministry of Time. And yeah, it was honestly a little bit boring. But again, I was only like 2 pages in before I fell asleep. So I'm gonna try to switch to Normal People by Sally Rooney. I don't know, this book seems very interesting as far as like content. I don't know exactly what it's about, but I did read the back and it seemed, I don't know. Honestly, I'm feeling so indecisive right now that I might switch the book again, because I don't know. Honestly, like, I love literary fiction, contemporary fiction, general fiction. Love it. dystopian, loving it right now. But I just feel like my brain needs romance right now, so I might switch it out for a romance book. But we're gonna try this one and see how it goes. Got my kids out here playing with chalk, and we're just gonna vibe. Okay, so quick update, guys. It is like, I don't know what time it is. It's probably like 11:30 right now. I ended up starting on, I know I said I was going to read The Ministry of Time, but when I started it, I fell asleep on it. And then I told you guys I was reading, what did I tell you guys I was reading after that? I don't remember what I told you I was reading after that, but I remembered that in the book club, the book of the month is Firefly Lane. Why can't I say that? The book of the month is Firefly Lane by Kristin, and so I did start that. I had to start on audiobook because I don't have the physical copy for that book either. Yeah, so I started that, and then we ended up watching The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 in the book club today. That started at like 10 my time. I think I'm like, I want to say like 15% of the way into Firefly Lane. And what really messed me up is because I fell asleep. I took that nap on accident. I really should have like went outside to read or something, but I fell asleep while reading, and that really threw me off. And then when I woke up, I couldn't decide what to read. So pretty much this whole like second half of the 24-hour reading challenge, or like the past 6 hours, have been me not doing much at all. So sorry about that. Tomorrow hopefully will be better, even though I don't know, because it's kind of a busy day. Actually, it's not that busy of a day. My husband does have a basketball game, but then I realized that my nephew's party isn't going to be until next Sunday, so I should be good after the morning. Hopefully we get some good reading in tomorrow. Okay, so I may have already started reading. Okay, it's currently almost 1:30 right now, and like I told you guys, my husband had some rec basketball games this morning, and so I forgot to start recording, but I was listening to the audiobook of Firefly. Why can't I never say that? Firefly Lane. I started on chapter, I want to say 10. Yeah, I started on chapter 10, and right now I'm on like midway through chapter 12. And oh, I started around 11-ish. Little after 11, we'll just say 11. So basically, I'll be reading until 11 o'clock tonight. Now I am cooking. We're having breakfast for lunch, so I'm just going to get back to that. Put the headphones back on. This book is like, honestly, I'm already loving it. Like, I'm so invested in what's going to happen. Give me more, give me more. And then there's a show to go along with it, so I'm definitely going to be watching that soon. Okay, you guys, I fully thought that I was going to be reading more. This 24-hour challenge, like I thought this was the best way for me to do it, for me to read a lot. I think it was just a bad weekend for me to try to do this. So maybe I'll have to try again next weekend, or we'll see when I try again. But first of all, I live in a house full of polar bears. Like, it's always so cold, so don't mind me. So I am still currently reading Firefly. Oh my gosh, I cannot say that word. Firefly Lane by Kristin. Okay, I only have a few more chapters left. It is currently 10:08, so I still have a little less than an hour to go in this reading challenge. I feel like I should have been done with this book, honestly. Even the Kennedy Ryan book, I should have finished faster than I did. But guys, I'm a mom, like I have things to do. I'm sorry, like I tried my best. The reason I'm not done with it yet is because I ended up joining in on the Bible study for the book club. We do like a Bible study. Some of the girls in the book club do a Bible study. Anyway, yeah, so I joined that and ended up reading chapters 6 through 10, and I'm still kind of in the process of reading the chapters, but yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past like 2 hours. So if you guys want to count that, let's just count that. Let me go finish this book. I feel like it's building up so much to like break my heart. I don't know what to expect. Like, I don't know what's about to come up in this book, but I can sense something brewing. I don't know. Otherwise, it'll be way too obvious, and Milo will not even believe this decoy for a second. Now, instead of you place you okay? On each side. I think I'm not. Really good. You could still... Okay, so let's close out this video. Let's talk about Firefly Lane by Kristin really fast. What kind of tree is this? Hang on, I just got so distracted. What kind of tree is this? I've never seen leaves like that in my life. What is that? Anyway, so y'all know that I finished Firefly Lane by Kristin Hanna. What?
That one.
You need that one? So my thoughts on it.
Mama.
Oh man. So what? I think I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 star. Thank you, Mama. I think it's gonna be a 4.5 star after sitting on it. But I did love the book. Basically, how would I explain this book to someone? What?
Mama.
Anyway, so my kids will not let me talk today. What? What? Okay, so I stopped recording out there because my neighbor came outside. Hashtag awkward. Anyway, so to wrap up the book, honestly, why did I read Long Shot and Firefly Lane back to back? Don't know. I guess I wanted to torture myself. But anyway, Firefly Lane, I didn't really know what to expect going in. I just knew it was about friendship. Yeah, and that's literally all I knew going in. I knew it was gonna have some moments where it got sad as Kristin Hanna. It wasn't too historical fiction. I've only read The Great Alone by Kristin Hanna, but I have The Nightingale and I'm gonna read it soon. I just haven't read it yet. I think it's like the norm for Kristin Hanna to do like historical fiction. This one was technically set in history, like in the 60s, 70s, 80s. It did have some bits of war in it. It was set in like the 70s, 80s, but it wasn't like crazy historical fiction in my opinion. But I really did like the book. Again, it was about friendship and found family. It had some hard topics in there. Honestly, there was something that had happened in like, I want to say like chapter 5, like pretty early on in the book, that I thought they were going to go into a little bit more. I think it came up before later on in the book, but it was never like dove into really deeply, especially for such a big and heavy topic that it was. I thought it was going to kind of shape the story more. I don't know if I missed something, but I don't feel like it really shaped the story. Kristin Hanna does a really good job of like making the characters feel real and telling the story in a way that like really gets you hooked in. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I didn't read more. I honestly thought I was going to read 3 or 4 books, but like I said earlier, these were big books, and I also read the Bible. So what do you want me to do? I'll try again another day. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.